Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Good day. Today is December 4th. It's a beautiful day out. I apologize for taking extra time to get ready today, but that's what happens sometimes. I was looking for a book at the last minute, and you know, when you have way too many books, it's good to try to locate those books before starting. But I'm very much a spontaneous person, and let's see. Okay, so I started the beginning of this recording off with chanting from the great Wisdom Heart Sutra. So let me go ahead and put a pause on that. I love that. It's one of my favorites. It's something that whenever I feel a time of stress or feel like there's some fear kicking in, I like to recite that sutra. It kind of gives you a grasp on the nothingness and everything and nothingness that is life. So let's see. And of course, oh, my chimes are over there. Let me get my chimes. So I always like to start class with the chime. My chimes were not over here in my studio area because last night I was facilitating Mahayana Buddhism class for Bright Dawn Center of Oneness Buddhism. We have lay ministerial training that begins every year in August or September. And we have a new class, which is Lay Minister Class 11, and that is in progress at this time. And we are, as I said, going over Mahayana Buddhism. So I had the chimes is what I use to bring in the class and to close the class down. So let's go ahead and take a nice deep centering breath to bring us in to this sacred space. So welcome, 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 welcome everyone. Nice to see everyone. So I think what we will start with first today is the crystal for today. I'll do the crystal for today. One of my favorite, this is euconite. Euconite. This is a nice little sample of euconite. All right, so let me go ahead. And I'm reading from the Crystal Bible. This is the Crystal Bible by Judy Hall. So we're going to look up euconite in the Crystal Bible because you know I really love my stones. Okay, euconite. Generally comes in the colors of green, pink, mottled, and often small tumbled stone. They're easily obtained and they're located in the United States and South Africa. Euconite is a stone of vision. It balances emotions with spirituality. Placed on the third eye, it opens it and promotes visualization and psychic vision. This stone also provides grounding when it is needed and can be useful for meditation or psychic work. Unakite can be used as a casting crystal for scrying, signifying where compromise and integration are needed. The best way to use it is with 10 or 12 other suitable stones. The tumbled stones should be kept together in a bag. One stone is then selected to answer a question, or a handful are cast into a scrying wheel. Placed in the environment, either as a large piece or as several tumbled stones in a bowl. Unakite brings a calm, gentle energy and can negate the effects of electromagnetic pollution from television sets if placed on top or close by. Unakite facilitates rebirthing, bringing to light and integrating insights from the past and the causes of blockages. And let's see, what else? And gently releasing conditions that can inhibit spiritual and psychological growth. It is also helpful in past life healing for going back to the source of a problem and reframing it. Unakite can be held or placed in a third eye for this purpose. So this is Unakite. So I appreciate everyone that is here today. Thank you. And if you have anything that you'd like to contribute to this broadcast, that would be so appreciated. So if you have any questions or anything, that would just be great. So we're going to move into our reading of the Tao Te Ching. And this is Jia Fu Feng and Jane English. And the theme for today's show is, let's see, what did I call it? Be your own Bodhisattva. Be your own Bodhisattva. So I want to read from chapter 56. I want to read from chapter 56 of the I Ching. Okay, so here's chapter 56. Those who do not talk, those who know, do not talk. Those who talk do not know. Keep your mouth closed. Guard your senses. Temper your sharpness. Simplify your problems. Mask your brightness. Be at one with the dust of the earth. This is primal union. He who has achieved this state is unconcerned with friends and enemies, with good and harm, with honor and disgrace. This, therefore, is the highest state of man. And we're going to move on to the next translation. Okay. Let's see. I accidentally picked up the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, a Buddhist poem for today. But I want to get, okay. So this is Tao Te Ching by Stephen Mitchell. And let's see, chapter 56. Those who know don't talk. Those who talk don't know. Close your mouth. Block off your senses. Blunt your sharpness. Untie your knots. Soften your glare. Settle your dust. This is the primal identity. Be like the Tao. It can't be approached or withdrawn from, benefited or harmed, honored or brought into disgrace. It gives itself up continually. That is why it endures. And that was chapter 56. Let's move to the next translation by Stephen Addis and Stanley Lombardo. And we're looking at 56. Welcome, everyone. So here's 56. Che, che, pu, yen. Those who know don't talk. Yen, che, pu, che. Those who talk don't know. Block the passage. Bolt the gate. Blunt the sharp. Untie the knot. Blend with the light. Become one with the dust. This is called original unity. It can't be embraced. It can't be escaped. It can't be helped. It can't be harmed. It can't be exalted. It can't be despised. Therefore, it is revered under heaven. The original unity. And the last version. This is Tao Te Ching by John C.H. Wu. Okay. He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know. Block all the passages. Shut all the doors. Blunt all edges. Untie all tangles. Harmonize all lights. Untie the world into one whole. This is called the mystical whole, which you cannot court, after nor shun, benefit nor harm, honor nor humble. Therefore, it is the highest of the worlds. So there you go. All right. So, as I mentioned before, this recording is called Bodhisattva, Be Your Own Bodhisattva. So I would like to share with you image of the very first Bodhisattva coming from Indian Buddhism, original Buddhism. Let me make sure I have the page up. There we go. Oh no, there it is. Okay, so let me bring that up. So what we'll have here is the Chinese rendition of this particular bodhisattva that I would like to share with you and read to you. Okay, so I should be sharing the screen now, and I'm going to read a little bit about this bodhisattva to you. So this bodhisattva is one who embodies the compassion of all Buddhas. And this bodhisattva, for those of you who have been on my broadcast previously, are familiar with Kuan Yin. And Kuan Yin is the Chinese goddess of compassion and mercy. And Kuan Yin is derived from the original Indian bodhisattva, which is pronounced Avalokiteshvara. So Avalokiteshvara is a bodhisattva. And I'll explain to you exactly what a bodhisattva is before we continue. In Buddhism, bodhisattva is the Sanskrit term for anyone who, motivated by great compassion, has generated bodhicitta, which is a spontaneous wish and a compassionate mind to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. And basically what Buddhahood means is one who is awakened, one who strives to awaken, to understand this world, to understand self, not simply for the benefit of that person, but for all sentient beings, for all living creatures, so that that person can then, therefore, go out and help other people. You know, we all come across in our lives people who strive to gain knowledge and to learn so that they can turn around and help other people to see the, as they call it, the proverbial light, to understand the makings of the world or whatever the situation is. So many of us may know bodhisattvas in our own lives, those who, instead of going off in their own little corner, you know, after they've attained some knowledge, instead of going off in their own corner, they've decided to stick their necks out and to help others. I have one particular friend that I have and who I consider bodhisattva, who's bodhisattva-like, and I won't mention her name out loud because I don't want to embarrass her, but I think of her as one who is a bodhisattva, who has a great deal of compassion for others, and who, you know, who I've witnessed putting herself online for the benefit of others, to help them to understand in areas that they may have been, you know, unaware. So back to Avalokiteshvara, whose picture you're seeing. And hold on one moment. For whatever reason, I seem to have blurred up my glasses. I can't read a thing with my glasses being blurred. So give me just a moment. And what I'm going to do is make the print a little bit bigger. Okay. So Avalokiteshvara is a bodhisattva who embodies the compassion of all Buddhas, of all those who are awakened. This bodhisattva is variably depicted, described, and portrayed in different cultures as either female or male. In Chinese Buddhism, Avalokiteshvara has become somewhat different and depicted as a female form, Kuan Yin. And I have a Kuan Yin image I'll show you once we finish this. In Cambodia, he appears as Lokesh Varak. And in Japan, he or she, so it depends on the person as they're looking, whether they consider it a he or she. It's sort of like an androgynous sort of in between. Avalokiteshvara is one who hears the cries of the world, and he, he exhibits both masculine and feminine qualities. And in Japan, he or she is called Kanzion or Kanan. The etymology, the name Avalokiteshvara combines the verbal prefix ava, which means down, and lokita, a past participle of the verb lok, which is to notice, behold, or observe, here used in an active sense. And finally, Ishvara, which means Lord, ruler, or sovereign master. And let's see. So basically, it's like one who gazes down at the world, or one, also it's translated as one who hears the cry of the world, or one who hears the sound of the world. Okay. What else can I share with you? Let's see. The original meaning of the name fits the Buddhist understanding of the role of a bodhisattva. The reinterpretation presenting him as an Ishvara, as a lord or ruler, shows a strong influence of Hinduism, and the term Ishvara was usually connected to the Hindu notion of Vishnu or Shiva, which is the supreme lord, creator, ruler of the world. Some attributes of such a god were transmitted to the bodhisattva, but the mainstream of those who venerated Avalokiteshvara upheld the Buddhist rejection of the doctrine of any creator God. Let's see, what else can I share? Okay, so what I'm going to do is, you've seen on the screen a depiction of Avalokiteshvara, which is a beautiful depiction. I will show you my favorite depiction of Avalokiteshvara, which is in a statue form. And I'm just going to get that for you. You might have seen earlier today, I uploaded MP3 video to Facebook, and it is a chanting of the Heart Sutra, which is attributed to Avalokiteshvara. So let's see if I can stop sharing this screen. Okay. So right here is my favorite depiction of Avalokiteshvara. This is a beautiful depiction, sort of reclining on the rock, and the features are both masculine and feminine, and I also, like, for instance, Tara, green Tara, black Tara, white Tara. I think there's a red Tara, I'm not sure. Tara is also, it's what do you call it? Another incarnation of Avalokiteshvara, but more in the feminine form. So this is a beautiful one. I have a couple of more statues that I could show you. Maybe I'll do that at a different time. I have a really big head statue sitting on the floor that was gifted to me. So, so the Bodhisattva ideal is to, as one attains awakening and working towards awakening, one doesn't abdicate this life and, go on to the next realm because they're awakened. They hang back and help others. And this, of course, is, yes, I enjoy I like the sitting position as well. And this is Kuan Yin, which is the more feminine version, the Chinese version of Avalokiteshvara, goddess of compassion and mercy. And I will do a little bit of reading for you from the Goddess Oracle. Thank you, Chris. You know, I'm sure I know I don't pronounce it 100% properly, but I have always kind of been good at, when I hear people speak, even when they have really heavy accents, that I'm able to understand them. And I've been pretty good at pronouncing names. I think Sarah would tell you that I did a very good rendition of pronouncing her Icelandic last name. I think so. She was impressed. Okay, let's see. E comes E, F, J, K, H, I, J, K. Yes, I still recite my alphabet to get to the right one. Wait a minute, it's Kuan? Okay. Sometimes you'll find Kuan Yin spelled with a Q, a K, or even with a G. Guanyin, Guanyin. Okay, so I will read to you the compassion of Kuan Yin, and we'll show how this ties in to our theme today. Be your own Bodhisattva. Compassion. I made the vow, and I will share with you a little short rendition of the Bodhisattva vow. I made the vow, and I kept my word. I reached enlightenment, but rather than pass over to the state of eternal bliss, I retained human form till all beings attain enlightenment. Keeping human form enabled me to know more deeply the pain others experience. Because of my deep feelings, because of my understanding of misery and suffering, because of my decision, I am called the compassionate one, she whose name alleviates all suffering. But wouldn't you prefer to wait, feeling what others feel, suffering what others suffer, knowing their pain as your own? Wait till the end of all suffering and pain, till all beings attain enlightenment? For me, there was no other choice. Kuan Yin, pronounced Kuan Yin, or she who hears the weeping world, is the Chinese Buddhist Bodhisattva of compassion. She lives on her island paradise of Piu Teo Shan, where she is said to grant every prayer she hears. She is so powerful that even the mention of her name will ease suffering and hardship. Choosing to remain in this world after having attained enlightenment, Kuan Yin has vowed to retain human form until all beings attain enlightenment. In Japan, she is known as Kwanan or Kanzion. Kuan Yin appears mercifully in your life to tell you it is time to nurture wholeness with compassion. Compassion for others, compassion for your loved ones, compassion for yourself. Do you find yourself irritated or apathetic to the suffering of others? What keeps you from your compassion? Do you allow yourself space and ease when you are less than your idea of perfect? Do you find yourself wanting to hurt others because you have been hurt? Do you fear opening your heart to the plight of others because it will hurt you? Compassion is the ability to listen deeply and allow others and yourself the space to go through what needs to be gone through and to feel what needs to be felt. Kuan Yin says that the way to alleviate your suffering is to develop compassion for yourself. For the compassionate place within, you can manifest compassion without. Okay, okay. Uh, so I have here Kuan Yin, and this is about being your own bodhisattva. This is about learning to cultivate compassion for yourself, because if you sit and take time and, turn off the TV, turn off YouTube, turn off all of those things that constantly pull you here and there, and take time to allow yourself to breathe, allow yourself to cry, to scream, to yell when you need to scream to the top of your lungs and get all of that energy flowing, and to develop that compassion for yourself. When you don't have compassion for yourself, you don't allow yourself to cry. You don't allow yourself those moments to just allow those emotions to flow. Because what happens when you don't allow those emotions to flow, it, you suppress them, you repress them, you suppress them, and it comes out, it stays in as internalized anger, which will manifest itself as um, ailments, migraines, stomach ailments, digestive issues, inability to sleep, being irritable with other people. So allowing your emotions to flow, uh, enacting compassion for yourself, I think is a beautiful thing. And it's a step in the direction of some deep and profound spiritual growth. And another way of showing yourself compassion is when you find yourself in pain, when you find yourself in that position of needing someone to hold your hand, being willing to admit that, reaching out to your friends, asking for help. You've welcome. You've heard me mention in some of my past recordings where I've talked about a time in my life. This was many years ago, like 7 years ago, where I was in a really bad place in my life and was basically sort of like in I call it the dark night of the soul, you know. And one day I woke up and I was just like, I can't do this by myself. And so I went to a local organization and I asked them for help. I asked them to direct me to someone who was willing to hold my hand. It took a great deal, and I wouldn't even say humility, because it wasn't even about that. It was just acknowledging what I needed and not being ashamed to ask for it. I was 40 years old. You know, we're taught to, put your big girl pants on and you can do it yourself and you can pull yourself up. No, we are social creatures, and there is absolutely nothing wrong for asking for help when we need help. So I just encourage you to take time in your meditative practice to sit still, to go within. And expressing compassion, it starts with expressing compassion for yourself. Someone in the chat room asked, how do I express compassion? By first expressing it for yourself. And as I said prior in this recording, where when we feel sad, allow ourselves to feel sad. When we make a mistake, allow ourselves to make the mistake and not beat ourselves up about it. That's one of the first steps in being our own bodhisattva, by listening and hearing our own cries. And when we cultivate that practice and accept that we have emotions and feelings, and then little by little, we step out and are willing to help other people. And it doesn't mean that we become a martyr and just throw ourselves on the railroad track for everything that's going on around us. You know, we must learn to have proper boundaries. You know, that's another video. But you know, we do a little bit as we can, starting with a simple hi to people as we pass them by in the street. One of the things that I've noticed is that, you know, a lot of people will walk down the street staring at their cell phones or whatnot. And, you know, there are days when I go out and I purposely say, you know what, I'm going to say hi, hello, hi to every person that passes me today. And it's a practice. And I'll share something with you. There was this person, you know, we've all come across that person that they seem a little off, they seem a little strange, and you see them coming, you want to go on the other side of the street because they're just strange, right? You know, we've all come across that person. So for years, I had seen this person, and you know, they would always look the other direction, and you know, okay, I would look the other direction too. It was always extremely awkward. And it was one of those days where I said, you know what, I am going to make sure that I greet every person that I see today. And so I'm walking down the street and I come across this particular person, and my mind is saying, Tamu, you said that you were going to say hi, peace to everyone. So that includes everyone, not just those that you feel comfortable with speaking to. So I walked down and I said, come on, girl, you can do it. You can do it. Just say hi. Keep walking, but say hi. You have to do it. You can't be prejudiced about this. So I walked by and I mustered up my courage and strength. And I was like, hi. Or maybe I said good morning or hi or hello. I don't know what it was, but I greeted the person. And it took a lot for me to do that, because the one part of me that was stuck in the way of just ignoring that person as they ignored me, I had to loosen her grip and I said hi. And then I tell you, probably a couple of weeks later, I was walking down the street, maybe it was a month later, this person actually said hi to me, like a very jovial way. And I have to admit, when they first spoke to me, I was like, I was kind of shocked. And I was like, hi. You know, I responded in kind. Whatever they said to me, I said back to them. You know, so that was an act of compassion. It was an act of compassion on myself first, by number one, not shaming myself and feeling guilty because of the thoughts that I had about this person. So that was the first compassion, and in encouraging myself, yes, speaking to myself inside of myself and saying, come on, you can do it, you can do it. This is what you said you're going to do, and saying hi to this person. And when I allowed it to come out of my mouth, for me, I believe that was an act of showing compassion rather than just saying hi to everyone else except for this one particular person who I felt uncomfortable with. And then I noticed that every time I've passed this person, they're out working in their yard and doing whatever, they're always saying hi. It's like after probably 15, maybe 20 years of passing this person. Yeah. So that's where it starts. That's where it starts. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do a reading. I want to do a reading from you know who. We haven't brought this one in a while. This one. And this is Eckhart Tolle, Oneness with All Life, Inspirational Selections from a New Earth. And this one's going to be short and simple. Let's see. Here, I better start from the previous page and then lead into that one. So here's the page. Okay. Whenever there is beauty, kindness, the recognition of the goodness of simple things in your life, look for the background to that experience within yourself. But don't look for it as if you were looking for something. You cannot pin it down and say, now I have it, or grasp it mentally and define it in some way. It is like the cloudless sky. It has no form. It is space. It is stillness. The sweetness of being, and infinitely more than these words, which are only pointers. When you are able to sense it directly within yourself, it deepens. So when you appreciate something simple, even such as saying hi to someone and having them return that kindness to you, that is something simple to appreciate. So when you appreciate something simple, a sound, a sight, a touch, when you see beauty, when you feel loving kindness toward another, sense the inner spaciousness that is the source and the background to that experience. Here's another way of finding inner space. And just remember, it's from that inner space where we build our inner sanctum, our inner sanctuary, our dedum. Here is another way of finding inner space. Become conscious of being conscious. Say or think, I am, and add nothing to it. Be aware of the stillness that follows the I am. Sense your presence, the naked, unveiled, unclothed beingness. It is untouched by young or old, rich or poor, good or bad, or any other attributes. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick look at the chat room. And while I do that, I will give you another image of Kuan Yin. We're going to morph into from Avalokiteshvara to Kuan Yin and give you a beautiful image there to meditate on. And let's see. one of my favorites as well. Here you go. Well, right, let's see. Hold on. Here's a very, hold on one second. I'm going to make sure I have one that's large enough. I like the nice large images. Okay. Here we go. And I'm going to go ahead and get a quick peek at the chat room while I do this. And okay. And I will share with you an idea of the Bodhisattva vows. Here you go. So I'm going to go ahead and check out the You Are Welcome Sunshine On. It says, thank you for the reading, for the profound reading. Welcome, Ava. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. You know, we have to realize that a lot of whatever negative attachments and so-called aliens and demons or whatever, they're all projections. They're all projections of what we need to work on, of our shadow self, because all that we perceive in our environment is really a reflection of what is within us. So I'm just taking a moment to check out the chat room and welcome everyone. We have Sunshine On and Chris, and I hope you enjoyed my reading of the Bodhisattva. And let's see, welcome B. Brown. Welcome Anna. Okay, all right. So the Bodhisattva vows. And here's sort of like, there's 4 Bodhisattva vows, 4 short ones that my tradition always sort of keeps in the back of our minds. And it's the deluding passions are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them all. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to help them all. The truth is impossible to explain. I vow to share it. The way of the Buddha is unattainable. I vow to live it. And yes, a lot of these, they seem like, wow, that's such a magnanimous goal. That's such this grandiose goal. But you look at it this way. It's good to have a vision. It's good to have something that you're continuously working on to attain. And while you're doing it, you're having compassion for yourself. But it's like a fire. It's like a way of purifying yourself. It's a way of, these are guidelines that I want to work in. I want to work on, like for me, this is probably the best and only example that I can give. The reason for my YouTube channel are, for me, related to the Bodhisattva vow. Okay, we all have issues and problems and quote unquote demons in our lives and things that, that we wish to conquer and we wish to learn about and transmute and transform and grow from. And that is our deluding passions. And there's so many of them. There's so many things to distract us. There's so many things that take away our time. And when we learn to sit in silence and to have that moment of stillness, a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, people do 45 minutes, we're learning how to transcend those things that we allow to limit us. And then the next vow is sentient beings are numberless. I vow to help them. Now, does it mean that, okay, you awaken this morning and all of a sudden you're looking out at your population of 100,000 people in your town and you're like, oh my God, how am I going to help all these people? No. The people who come into your life, your friends, the person in line at the coffee shop that you might notice has a beautiful dress on, or the guy has a lovely bow tie he's wearing, taking a moment to say, wow, that dress looks lovely on you, or that's a really cool bow tie you're wearing. That is a way of helping them just by using a kind word. The truth is impossible to explain. I vow to share it. How do we do that? Just by sharing our own truths. Right here, right now, I'm sharing my truth with you. And this is my truth at this moment. Now, things change, I learn, I grow. Some things I shed and let go of, and then new things I'm open to. But it's wherever you are in your life, share your truth with others. It doesn't mean you're proselytizing or you're beating somebody over the head. You're just sharing your truth. If someone says to me, oh, it's really difficult for me to fall asleep at night, or I have really bad muscle aches. And I might say, to my clients, I might say, oh, have you looked into putting magnesium in your diet? Magnesium can help with muscle spasms and insomnia. Have you tried deep breathing exercises? And other things. That's just a really simplified version of what I'm saying. In other words, be willing to be that book of love that another person can experience. And then the way of the Buddha is unattainable. That simply means to awaken, to understand all that, to understand where we are and who we are and what we are. To awaken, Buddha means awakened one, is unattainable. But it doesn't mean you don't, expend energy to try to attain it. The way of the Buddha is unattainable. I vow to live it. So I'm going to go ahead and check the chat room. Ava Sophia asked, is this the Buddha of compassion? Yes, the image you're looking at is Kuan Yin, and she is the Bodhisattva of compassion. Bodhisattva means, Bodhi is like seed. It's and Buddha comes from the root of Bodhi. Buddha means one that has awakened. So it's like that seed that has finally sprouted to what it's truly supposed to be. So the Bodhisattva has these vows of compassion. The Bodhisattva vows, and it's the vow to, before this one is fully aware, because once you're completely fully awakened, you're no longer needed on this earth plane. But the Bodhisattva vow is a vow to awaken not just for themselves, but for others, and to help others in their awakening. And what I just went through is the 4 vows and how you can utilize them in your life. So let me go through the chat room. Okay. Chris Monet says, all external entities dissolve when love is the intent. And Sunshine On responds, true that, Chris. Love is the vibration, energy, void of shadows, and all healing, all forgiving. Yes, I definitely agree with you, Sunshine, when you say loving kindness is to share a kind word and even a simple smile. We all are desperate to be seen and heard, even within. Oh, yes, I like that. Yes, yes. Oh, that just gives me goosebumps. What you just said, Sunshine, on, because that is so true. Not only, we want to be validated and heard by those that love us, by those around us, but we also want to be seen and heard by ourselves, to ourselves. There is this part of us that's saying, Tamu, Tamu, look at me, look at what I want. Look at what I want. And that is all about the process of sitting and taking time to sit in meditation, taking time to focus on your breathing and to really getting still and casting your eyes inward to your heart and see what your heart, your gut, your heart, your energy center, your hara, your dantian, what that has to tell us. Let's see. Yes, and it is important to tell your story. Okay, you are welcome. You are welcome. All right. Okay, let me just think, is there anything else that I feel led to share today? I'm gonna have to figure out where my Kuan Yin book, because evidently there's like many variations, like Kuan Yin. As with all of us, we're all this beautiful gem with many facets. I'm a person, I'm this one person, Tamu, but I have different facets of my being. To some people, I'm a mother. To some people, a friend, a sister, a cousin, a daughter, so many different things, a therapist, a minister, all different things to different people. And Kuan Yin, there's a book, and it's like, I think the 32 faces of Kuan Yin, there's like different variations of her and different mantras of her. So I just got to figure out where I put that book. I'll probably remember at 2 o'clock in the morning and then be compelled to get up and dig through one of the boxes just to find that book. I hope that doesn't happen. So anyway, okay. Yeah, as Sunshine On says, your heart. There is where we find who we really, truly are. Okay, let me see if I can bring this page back up. And gonna stop the screen share and ask if, where did I put my cards? Oh, there they are. So I have my deck of Cosmic Deck of Initiation. And I will, oh, sorry, I just got distracted. I just got a text message from one of the local teachers, wants me to come into the middle school to teach meditation to her class. And, I didn't realize how awesome that could be, to teach meditation, to facilitate meditation with 12-year-olds, with 7th graders. Oh God, I'm just like thinking about it right now. The last time I was there, that energy was profound. And there is a kid, I think he's about 12 or 13. He walks to school in the morning when I'm walking my little one to the bus stop, and I forget his name, but I see him all the time. He always waves to me. And he said to me, I heard that you come into the school to teach meditation. I really want you to come to my class. And I'm like, well, tell Miss Patton that you want Tamu to come in. So we'll see. Okay, so who wants me to pull a card for them? I'll do it for the first 3 people. So go. Put me, M-E, in the chat room. And while I wait for you to do that, I'm just going to Check. Okay. Ooh, okay. Alrighty. All right. All right. If you want me to pull a card for you, put me, M-E, in the chat room. I'm going to go ahead and get the deck shuffled. If you want me to pull a card, just put me in the chat room and I will pull a card for you. So I got sunshine on. So sunshine on, go ahead and get your meditation in. And while I work on sunshine on, anyone else, go ahead, just put me in the comment line and I will pull one for you. This is for you, sunshine on. Oh, that's kind of funny. All right. Okay. For sunshine on, let me, and this is for all of us, but right now I'm dealing with sunshine on. This is for you, dear. Universal compassion. How appropriate. How appropriate is that, sunshine on? Okay. Universal compassion. Letting go of the self. Selflessness and an empathy for all that surrounds you. Universal understanding and acceptance on a non-judgmental level. This quality opens and expands all other qualities and aspects of living. You are drawn into the realms of the unseen and higher levels of perception. Acceptance with love of individual destinies. That is universal compassion. And of course, you know, it starts within. There's your soul right there. It's your soul radiating throughout your being in all those directions. And then your heart, the green, the love, and then that pink, unconditional love radiating out. It's beautiful. So there, you are being called to really delve deep into your soul and all of those little nooks and crannies where you might be holding out on yourself, sunshine on, you know, any place where you might be judging yourself, because when you judge yourself, you block yourself. So check in, sweetheart. And this is for sunshine on, and anyone else who feels as this might relate to them. Check in with your soul, with yourself, and shine your light on those areas, that light of love that, you know, you might be holding out on. You know, for instance, that part that might say, oh, you didn't do the dishes today. Oh, you're so lazy. Or you didn't do you didn't do the reading you were supposed to do. Or you didn't say hi to that person when you should have. What kind of healer are you? Check in and shine the light on those areas, that light of compassion, where you release yourself from any guilt, any residual guilt you might be holding on. Because once you release that, you can shine even brighter. So much love, universal compassion. Okay, next up is Ava. And see, I encourage people to just simply put me in the chat room because I don't want any wavering, no waffling. I want you committed to the process. So that's why I just say put me and nothing else. And that way I know that you know, you're right there. So thank you, Sunshine. Okay, so Ava put me, unconditionally me. You know, it's okay to say me. It's okay to say, you know that you want and need something for yourself. And that's something that I'm understanding and learning, for, a lot of women, and I can only speak as a woman for other women, is that we tend to put other people before us. We tend to constantly do that, whether we have children or whether for other people. And sometimes it's okay to step into your esteem and say, I need this for me, without, any extemporaneous condition. Okay, Ava, go ahead and get your meditation on. Focus on your heart of hearts as I shuffle these cards on your behalf. There you go, Anna. There you go. You got it, babe. There you go. All right. Yes. You're not the only one, Sunshine on. You are not the only one. We all have to remember that compassion. Yeah, it's wonderful to be mounting it on to everybody else, and we're neglecting ourselves. And if you think about it, it's kind of hypocritical, you know? And is it really true compassion if we're not having it for ourselves first? It's just like when we're on the airplane, the stewardess, I guess that's not PC, the flight attendant always says, the oxygen mask comes down, put it on yourself first, and then help the person next to you. Put it on yourself first, not your child first, on you first, so you don't pass out, so you can make sure you're there for your child. Okay, so this is for Sophia, and then we have Anna, and then that'll be it. Okay, so for Sophia, we have, here you go, dear, universal spirituality. There you go. Universal spirituality. You are more aware of the intensity of the spirit within. Spiritual concepts come into the fore of reality. Greater focus on the spiritual gives greater perception within reality. The spirit within seeks greater manifestation in reality, a new level. A new level of spirit comes into consciousness. The spirit opens the heart to greater intensity. I don't know, is Ava related to Eve? Eve is like the first mother of us all. And you have Sophia, which is goddess of wisdom. You have this deep mother wisdom within you. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. So all of us is spiritual. It's just the degrees that we are in awareness of it. And, taking time to step back, we have these physical bodies, so we're constantly doing things. And this card, Universal Spirituality, is inviting you to step back and to make sure that you're taking time to be conscious and to be aware of your energy and of your spirit being, and to make sure that you are directing your light through your apparatus of who you truly are. Okay, so that's universal spirituality for you, Ava Sophia. Get in touch with your mother wisdom. Get in touch with that energy that resides within you, which is right there inside of your heart. represents that green. But there you go. That is for you, Ava. And the last one is Anna. Anna, Anna, Anna. Anna, Anna, Bonana. Ava Sophia says exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Anna, go ahead and get your meditation in. Go inward and connect. Okay. Ooh. Let me find it in the book. Ooh. This is for you, Anna. You are a sower. She puts the monkey icon on with her eyes covered. This is for you, Anna. You are a sower of seeds. Are you ready to sow your seeds, baby? Are you ready to plant those seeds? Let's see what it says. Healing of the past opens the future, opens the way for future abundance and harmony. Harvester of the past, sower of the future. Loose ends are being tied up so that action can be taken toward the future. Even when you feel that your actions are extreme, a pattern, an order, and a system are operating. Every action has a reaction. Consider the source and find understanding and resolution. And this is all about initiating motion. And that's what I see it as. You are at the precipice of something big in your life. Okay? So now that you're at that precipice, are you ready to toss your seeds over into that fertile soil? Are you ready to dig into your past and connect? Are you ready to fill in those spaces and plant your seeds and step in to all that you are, will be, can be, am, is right now, just waiting for you to recognize? Anna says, I like that, I need that, I feel it. There you go. Are you ready to be able to say me without wavering? So that is for you, Anna, sower of seeds. And she's going to do it. She's going to do it. There you go. So, all right. So let me just take a moment to check the chat room. And yes, both Sunshine On and no, they did not get the same card. Sunshine On was Universal Compassion. Ava was Universal Spirituality. Here we go. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this session. And I encourage you to take steps to be your own bodhisattva. Take steps to really initiating and manifesting compassion in your life. If you need help with that, if you want to talk, go ahead and hit me up. My website is in the box below where you can reach out to me. It takes one moment at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. Remember that song, I get knocked down, but I get up again? Ain't nothing gonna keep me down. We can do this. We can help this shift. We can be a part of this letting go of that fear and the things that do not serve us, does not serve the greater good. We can sow our seeds. We can, create more compassion for ourselves and for others, and to become more conscious and aware of our spirituality. So if we can take a moment to remember our ancestors and all those who have transitioned before us. Take a nice deep healing breath. And I wish you peace and great bliss. Thank you.